I'm from RV College of Engineering, no top national accolades to my name. I've not won any gold medals, silver medals, nothing. I'm as average as anybody in this room. Believe me when I say this.
All right, all right. Hi, finally.
Hi,
Right. So let me just tell everyone, Nupur recently wrote the exam and got a 750 score. She got a 42 in verbal, which is a phenomenal score compared to what she had actually been getting before. So, and we really get caught in life situations and circumstances and things that pull us back, and even mental health issues and so on. But she's conquered all of those, and she's here to talk about her entire journey. How did the 750 happen, Nupur? Please take us through that.
yeah, sure. So first things first, my 750 was something that happened over a period of 2.5 years. And maybe things would have been different if I found top 1% earlier, but obviously that did not happen. Um, so I had started off with, I started off with self-studying, the typical Manhattan books and all of that, and GMAT lab. Then I also took some material from Princeton, I remember, because, a friend of mine used to go there. Then I'd also gone to target test prep as well, and I took and I've built some base from there, right? So I think my issues, obviously, GMAT is something that you can crack in 3 to 4 months, but I know a lot of us who are working, or just a lot of us who've been out of touch, with all of these things for the last 4 5 years. So I have 5 years of work as I speak today. It does get very difficult, right? And on top of that, I'm sure a lot of you here, you struggle with anxiety. I know I do. And my reason for telling you guys is I'm sure a lot of you relate to this. So please don't get bogged down by the 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, 25 days. We all have our own journey. Then when I found, I think, top 1% and I started studying with them, first things first, obviously the material was fantastic. There was so, it was very structured, right? And a lot of us really like structure, because if there's just too much to do and we don't have a plan in place, we get overwhelmed as to how are you going to get it done. Second, obviously, is I think the constant motivation. So in fact, sir used to check in with me regularly, how I was doing, and the two things, right? And so to be very honest, I had actually gotten into ISB last year with a 680 score, and I thought, okay, I've conquered everything that there is to it. And I had reached out to or three and sir, and I'd spoken to these guys, and I was in such a low point of my life that I thought that ISB was it for me. But it was these two people who said, no, you know what, you have a lot of potential. Believe us, we see thousands of students, just go for it. And I believed in them more than I believed in myself. And thank you for the team to believe in me.
What were your subject issues like, and how did you prepare each subject, let's say SC or CR or RC or Quant? Yeah.
So SC, I think in being a typical Indian, ki yaar sentence hi to hai, ban jayega. Honestly, I was a brat when it came to SC. I thought my intuition would do the trick, and I was like, at 25 years old, you can't expect me to know what a verb is, what a preposition is. I don't want to do all this. I was really egoistic about it, which is a huge mistake on my part. Then I realized that no, you cannot treat SC that way. You have to give it its due respect, for the lack of any better
Mhm.
phrase. So I started preparing SC. I've seen all the marathon videos. I've done all the PDFs. I've seen all the videos. I've done the 700 to 800 questions. I've solved SC from the top 1% mock tests.
Mhm.
I just followed whatever sir said to the T.
And how about RC and CR? One
Yes.
by one. Yeah.
Yes. So RC, same thing. Luckily, I was somebody who does read. I have good reading skills. But then again, I feel like, when you're reading a passage and you're reading it to just like simply be like, ha, theek hai, this is what the author wanted to say. But it becomes so much easier when you follow things like octave, right? Like then I consciously started looking for words like however, yet, but, all those. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, this is a contradiction here. We're moving from the historian's point of view to the
Mhm.
scholar's point of view. And initially, honestly, मुझे लगता था that these are very small things, but they made a huge difference, because I wasn't just reading the passage, right? I was reading the passage with a purpose in mind, that I want to be able to solve this passage. I'm not here to read a book. And so the techniques help you define, like the techniques help you pull those points out, which will me help you meet the objective of answering those 4 questions, right? Ultimately,
Yeah.
that's all you want. You just want your accuracy to be up.
And critical reasoning.
Yes. So CRO is something I struggle with a lot. And in general, my logic, I don't know why, logical reasoning is a little bad. So there are many times, when you read a question and you have a hunch that this is the right answer, and it's great if 8 out of 10 times your hunch is right. But CR, I forced myself. I'm like, no, why is this wrong? Why is this right? Or at least forget why is this right. I think the general GMAT structure is you don't have to bother. You have to know four wrong answers. So I forced myself to figure out each and every option. Okay, why is this wrong? And then I watched a lot of the live classes videos I've seen once or twice, right? So that I can understand Sir's thought process of when he's analyzing a question or when
Mhm.
he's explaining a question.
And quantitative, though it was your strong point, but did you have a journey with that as well?
Quant, I would say, guys, I think I was overconfident, very honest, because the perception that we're Indians, we're good in math, blah blah blah. But no, right? The GMAT is a beast in itself. So quant, my problem was to do a lot of questions, figure out where do I make silly mistakes, and then just like stuff it in my head. कि
Mhm.
कुछ भी गलत करो, but this silly mistake cannot go wrong. So
Right.
know where your drawbacks are in quant. It's very important.
I mean, this is a very, very important point because people don't do this kind of silly mistake analysis and so much drilling down in their heads. So
Yeah.
now tell us the exam experience and did you find something unusual, particularly in verbal, because verbal was a bigger challenge? Quant, I mean, though your score is 49, I don't know why, but still, did you find anything unusual in both the sections, one by one?
One thing, because I struggled with time, which is very surprising, and I think I struggled with time was because I took a lot of pressure in the starting, and I was pretty overwhelmed by the whole thing. So I would say if you can like maybe 30 or 40 minutes before the exam, just practice 5 6 questions so that you just get into that zone. And obviously the calming techniques are really important, but this can happen, guys, in quant. You can actually run out of time simply because in the starting you're a little overwhelmed or you're pretty anxious about the exam. But other than that, nothing unusual. I think the top 1% tests that I used to practice, the quant sectional tests, they were harder. They were harder any day than the actual exam. But if you practice at that level, only then will you be comfortable in the exam. If you continue to do easy questions, you're never going to be comfortable in the exam. And again, I was overconfident in the starting and I used to be like, no, this is too hard. Ye to aayega hi nahi. Now I wish I had practiced those extremely hard questions also. So I didn't. So I was very comfortable.
So something if you do beforehand, I think it does calm your nerves, you're saying. In your case, it was quant because you wanted to start with quant probably.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, all right, all right.
yeah.
And in the verbal section, was there anything unusual you felt? Because 42 is pretty good now, so I'm just trying to understand.
No, in fact, I was, you can say my paranoia kicking in. I found the verbal easy, and I'm like, oh my god, I've already ruined the paper in the starting. इसलिए मेरे को verbal इतना easy लग रहा है, right? The GMAT's already just given me really, really easy
Mhm.
questions. But no, guys, don't think of any of that. Why am I getting easy questions? Why am I getting hard questions? Sometimes the paper seems easy because you just studied that much, right? And you don't realize how much effort you've actually put in, and that's why the paper kind of seems
Right, right.
easier to you.
So ideally, how much time do you think this course can be finished in now in retrospect, if you were to look at?
Easily 3 to 4 months. So I have a younger brother who scored 760 in like 3 months or 3.5 months. So definitely you can do it in 3.5 4 months. But everything is mindset, right? It's your material plus your mindset. So you don't have to worry about the material. You don't have to worry about the classes. All of that is sorted, right? You don't even have
Mm.
to open GMAT club. To be very honest, I don't think I did in the last 6 months, and I was dependent on it so much. Now, the only part that's left with you is the mindset, which is completely on you.
So thank you, Nupur, first of all, for joining. And it was really, really insightful, wonderful to know. And thanks for opening up as well, because we know that some of the issues that plague us, but people don't talk about them very clearly. Thanks, Nupur. Thanks for joining in that case.
Thank
And
you so
all the
much.
very best. And we'll keep in touch anyway. Right. Bye.
Done. So, bye bye. Good luck, everybody.